Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Orlando Valido, Oli Valido of Pimpoli, and they call me here on YouTube. Tonight they're going to bring you another contribution artist, and this one of my favorites. Yeah, a woman, a beautiful woman from 1946 that she was born, I think, and I'm going to read her autobiography for you. Now before telling you that it's 4:50 p.m. and it's 87 degrees here in Miami. Yeah. Okay, let me put the first picture for you all. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, here is first picture. The second picture her name is Linda Ronstadt, one of my favorite contribution artists. And my favorite song is Blue by You. Blue by You. One of the best songs I ever heard in my entire life. Okay, let me read the autobiography in 1 minute. Okay, here we go with the autobiography of Linda Ronstadt. Linda Marie Ronstadt, born on July 15, 1946, she is an American singer who has performed on recorded device genres including rock, country like opera, and the Great American Songbook and Latin music. Ronstadt has earned 11 Grammy Awards, 3 American Music Awards, 2 Academy of Contribution Awards, and an Emmy Award, and the Alma Award, and many other albums have been certified a gold platinum, multi-platinum in the United States and internationally. She also has earned nomination for the Tony Award, the Golden Globe Award. She was awarded the Latin Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award by Latin Recording Academy in 2011. Also awarded Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award by the Recording Academy in 2016. She was introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in April 2014. On July 28, 2014, she was awarded National Medal of the Arts and Humanity. In 2019, she received a Star Journey with the Dolly Parton and Emmylou Harris on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for their work as a group of trio. Ronstadt was among of the 5 honorees who have received 2019 Kennedy Honor for Lifetime Artistic Achievement. About that, guys. Ronstadt has released 24 studio albums and 50 completions of the greatest hit albums. She started 38 U.S. Hot 100 singles and 21 these singles that reached at the top 40, 10 reached at the top 10, and 1 reached number 1. You guys know good. You are no good. I remember that one too. One that also Saturday in the UK until her duet somewhere out there with Jim Ingram. Don't know much with Aaron Neville. That would be Neville, and pick a number 8 and 2 respectively, and the single Blue by You, which is one of my favorites, which had number 35 on the UK single chart. She had also Saturday 36 albums, 10 top albums, and 3 number 1 albums on the US Billboard album chart. Ronstadt has led her voice to over 120 albums, collaborating with artists of many genres including Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris, Betty Miller, Billy Eckstein, WBECKSTIN, and Frank Zappa, Carla Bley, Escalado Over the Hill, and Rosemary Clooney, Flaco Jimenez, Philip Glass, Warren Sharon, Osavon, as C.S. Silver, EVON, Graham Barton, Neil Young, Paul Simon, Oscar, Johnny Cash, Nelson Riddle, R.I.D.D.R.E., Christopher London, of the Jazz Sam Rose in 2004, Ronstadt fled with arguably there will be ARUABLY, the most sterling set of pipe of her generation. Indeed. Ronstadt reduced her activity after 2000 when she felt her singing voice deteriorating, and she released her final solo album in 2004 and her final collaboration album in 2006, and performed her final live concert in 2009. She announced her retirement in 2011 and revealed shortly afterward that she's no longer able to sing as a result of degenerative, that would be DEGENERATIVE condition, initially diagnosed as Parkinson's disease. Poor girl, but later determined to be a progressive supernuclear palsy. Since that time, Ronstadt has continued to make public appearances, going to a number of public speaking tours. In 2010, she published her autobiography, Simply Dream, a musical memoir. In September of 2013, a documentary based on the memoirs that would be MEMOIRS, Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, was released in 2019. At that time, 2019. He was awarded early life. Linda Marie Ronstadt was born in Tucson, Arizona on July 15, 1946, the third of four children of Gilbert Ronstadt, 1911-1995, and Machinery Motion, MACHINEY, MERCHNT. who ran for F. Ronstadt Corporation, I think, or CEO, and the Rosemary Copperman Ronstadt, 1914-1982, a homemaker. Yeah. Ronstadt had a Roman Catholic upbringing and was raised in a family land of a 10-acre four-hat ranch with her sibling Peter, who served as the assistant chief of the police from 1981 to 1991. Michael Griston, the family was featured in the Family Cycle magazine in 1953. Linda Ronstadt's family history. Ronstadt's father came from a pioneer Arizona ranching family and was of Mexican descent with a German male ancestor, and the family influence on the contribution to Arizona history, including wagon making, commerce, pharmacy, and music, are documented in the library of the University of Arizona. Her great-grandfather was the engineer Frederick August Ronstadt, who went by the name Federico Augusto Ronstadt, immigrated first to Sonora, Mexico, and later to Southwest at the time as a part of the Mexico in the 1840 from Hanover, Germany, and married Margarita Redondo Vasquez as a Mexican citizen and eventually settled in Tucson, Arizona. In 1991, the city of Tucson, Arizona opened the Central Transit Terminal-owned mass system dedicated to Linda's grandfather Federico Jose Maria Ronstadt, a local pioneer, a businessman who was a wagon maker whose early contribution to the city mobility including six mule-drawn streetcars and delivered in 1903-1904. Wow. Linda Ronstadt, mother Ruth Mary of a German, English, and Dutch ancestry, who was raised in Flint, Michigan. Ruth Mary's father, Lord Lyra Grove Copperman. That would be Lloydgroff. Copperman was her father, a profile inventor who the holder of nearly 700 patents invented in the early from the electric toaster, many refrigerator device and other things that he invented. The first electric stove was invented by her grandfather, and early from the microwave oven. Wow, I can't believe that. A flexible rubber ice cube tray earned him $1 million in reality. In reality, you believe that? This is really amazing. Here is a writing by Linda Ronstadt. Everybody had their own level of doing the music, Mine just happened to resonate over the years in one way or another with a significant enough number of people so that I could do professionally. Linda Ronstadt, establishing her professional career in the mid-1960s for the front of a California emerging folk rock and country rock movement genre which is defined both in the 1960s rock music. Linda Ronstadt joined the forces with Bobby Kimmel, Kimmel, and Kenny Edwards, and became the lead singer of the folk rock trio The Stone Ponies, and later also added she released Hand Stone, that would be SOWN, Hand Stone, homegrown in the 1969, which has been described as the first alternative country record by a female recording artist. Although the fame allude for during the 3 years Linda Ronstadt actively toured with The Doors, Neil Young, Jackson Browne, and also appeared numerous times on television shows and began to contribute her singing to albums by other artists. With the release of the site, typing at the album such as Hot Like Wheels, Simple Dream, Living in the USA, which was one of the other favorite songs of mine. Linda Ronstadt became the first female arena class rock star. She set the record on the top grossing concert artist of the decade and referred to as the first lady of rock and the queen of rock. Linda Ronstadt was voted as the top female pop singer of the 1970s. Her rock and roll image was famous her music, and she appeared in 6 times on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine and the cover of the New Week, at the time. Wow, very famous she was. She was back then, you know. In the 1980s, Ronstadt performed on Broadway and received a Tony nomination for her performance as the Pirate of Penance. That would be PENCSANCE, teamed with composer Philip Glass, and recorded traditional music and collaborated with conductor Nelson Riddle, Riddle, an event at that time viewed as an original orthodox move for the rock and roll artist. The venue paid off, and Ronstadt remained one of the music industry's best-selling acts throughout the 1980s, with multiple platinum-selling albums such My Love, What New Canciones de Mi Padre, which means Son of My Fathers, and Cry Like a Rainstorm, How I Like the Wind. She continued to tour and collaborate on the record celebrated albums such as Winterlight, Humming to Myself, until her retirement. In 2011, most of Linda Ronstadt's albums are certified gold, platinum, and multi-platinum album. Wow. Having sold in excess of, listen to this, 1 million records worldwide. Whoa. And setting the record as one of the top grossing concert performers for over a decade. Linda Ronstadt as the most successful female singer of the 1970s and stand as one of the most successful female recording artists of the U.S. She opened many doors for women and the rock and roll and musical generated by championing songwriter, musician, and pioneer stars success onto the concert circuit and being vanguard of many musical movements at that time. Yeah, she was the queen. Okay, here we go with Linda Ronstadt, career overview. Early influence. Linda Ronstadt's early family life was filled with music and tradition, was influenced by stylistic and music choices. She later made her career. Growing up, she listened to many types of music, including Mexican music, which was sung by her entire family and was staple of her childhood at that time. Linda Ronstadt remarked all types. She has recorded her own record, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, gospel, opera, country, Shura, that would be Choral, and Marathi, and the music I heard her family sang in their living room. Her heard and heard by play on the radio by the age of 10. She quoted her mother for her appreciation of the Gilbert and Sullivan, and her father for introducing her to the traditional pop, Great American Songbook of Repertoire, REPETORIE, and she would turn to help reintroduce to the entire generation. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to read another writing by Linda Ronstadt. If I didn't hear on the radio or my dad wasn't playing it on the piano or my brother wasn't playing on the guitar singing his voice Kyle, or my mother and sister were practicing on the Broadway tune on the Gilbert and Civilian song, then I can do it today. It's simple as that. All my influence and my authenticity are direct result of the music play in the Tucson living room. Yeah. In another word, her influence was her entire family. Mother, father, brother, all of them. Yeah. Okay, early on, her singing style had been influenced by singer coach Lola Brenta, Edith Piaf. That would be EDITHPIAF. She had called the singing a rhythm more like Greek music, a sort of like 6/8 time signature. Very hard driving, very intense. She also drew influence from country singer Hank Williams. Oh yeah, Hank Williams. She has said that all girls singers eventually had to contribute to earlier frequency level. There will be ELLAFITCEERALD Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday or Maria Callas CALLAS. Ronstadt said there is no one on her language or her leash that her period I learned more about singing rock and roll from listening to Maria Callas. Uh, the Maria Callas record. I never would from listening to a pop from a month on Sundays. On Sunday, she is the greatest Czech singer ever. That was Maria Callas. She admired Callas for her musical chip and her attempt to push the 20th century singing on a particular opera and back to the bel canto, natural style of singing. As a self-described brother of American radio in the 1950 and 1960, Linda was a fan of the electric device music programming. Beginning of professional career at the age of 14 years old, formed the folk trio with her brother Peter and sister Christian, and the group played at the coffee houses, fraternity houses, and other small venues, billing themselves as the Union City Ramblers, and three Western, and they have even recorded themselves at Tucson Studio under the name The New Union Rambler, and the repertoire include the music they grew up on, folk, country, bluegrass, Mexican, but increasingly Western wanted to make the union folk music rocking on rock and roll in the 1964 after a semester in the University of Arizona, and the 18-year-old decided to move to Los Angeles, California. Okay, here we go now with the Storm Ponies. Linda was visited a farm from Tucson, Arizona. Bobby Kimmel, Kimmel, in Los Angeles, California, Easter break from college in 1964. That was a break from the Easter in the 1964, guys. And later that year, shortly before her 18th birthday, she decided to move to permanently from the band with him. Kummer had already began co-writing folk rock songs with the guitarist, songwriter Kenny Edwards. Eventually, the three of them were signed by Nick Bennett to Capitol Records in the summer of 1966, and the Storm Ponies and the trio released three albums and the 15 months period of 1967, 1968, and the Storm Pony Evergreen Volume 2, Linda Ronstadt, Storm Pony, and Friend Volume 3. And the band was known for the hit single Different Drum, written by Michael Nesmith, Nesmith, prior to the joining that Monkey which reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, and was the number 12 on the Cash Box magazine. Nearly 50 years later, the song remains one of the Western's most popular recordings. Here we go now with Stellar Korea, still contractually obligated to Capitol Records. Linda Ronstadt released her first solo album, Hands On, and that would be HANDSOWN, homegrown 1969. It has been called the first alternative country record by a female artist. During the same period of time, she contributed to music from the Free Quick Superstation project. Okay, Linda Ronstadt provided the vocal of some commercials during this period of time, including one for Wimbledon Electric Racer, which a multi-track of Boston and Frank Zappa claimed that electric racer clean you, steal you, okay, may even keep you from getting busted. Yeah. Linda Ronstadt's second album, Kill Post, SILK, Post, PURSE, was released on March 1970. A recording entire in Nashville, Tennessee, was produced by Elliot Masters, MACSCBER, who Linda Ronstadt on the advice of Johnny Joplin. That would be JANISJOPLIN, who was working at her Cheap Thrills album. A Skill Post album cover show Linda Ronstadt Muddy Piggin Pen. Yeah, Piggin Pen. That would be PIGPEN, Big Pen, which is back inside the cover depicts on the hunt stage. Wearing a bright red, Linda Ronstadt stated that she was not pleased with the album after she provided her with her first solo hit, a multi-format single, Long Time, and earned her first nomination for the Best Contemporary Vocal Performer Female ever. Okay, here we go with a writing by Judy Handshake, who was the then reigning queen of folk music, and said that taboo, that would be TROUBADOUR, is honey. This now is the age for sexes, man, woman, homosexual, girl singer, Linda Ronstadt. Let me read that again so you can understand a little bit more. Judy Handshake, who was the reigning queen of folk music, said to the troubadour, TROUBADOUR, is honey in this town. There are four sisters, man, woman, homosexual, and girl, singer, Linda Ronstadt. I agree. Another backing band include John Henry, Glenn Ferry, Bernie Liston, and Randy Michelle, M-E-I-S-N-E-R, who went from my ego and toured with her for a short period of time in 1971 and played on Linda Ronstadt albums. That would be EPONYMOUS, and the third album which fell single for Ronstadt, a version of Brown, Rock Me on the Water. Yeah, Rock Me on the Water. I was Brown at this stage. Linda Ronstadt began working with the producer and boyfriend John Boylan. Boylan, yeah. She said as soon as I started working with John Boylan, I started co-producing myself. I was always a part of my production, but I always needed to a producer who would carry out my whim. WHIMS. Also in 1971, Boston began taking uh, with David Geffen, Geffen, about moving from Capitol Records to Geffen uh, Asylum record label. 1975, Linda Ronstadt performed a show with Jackson Brown and Eagle and the Truth Metal and the Metal, yeah. And the show she would sing lead vocal on a number of songs, including the Eagle Desperado. Yeah, while singing in the background, playing tambourine and acoustic guitar and order. Several years before Linda Ronstadt became what actor Gary Hashley called the first arena-class rock diva, with a hugely anticipated tour. She began her solo career touring North America concert circuit. Being on the road took a toll for both emotionally and professionally at that time. In 1976, Rolling Stone interview with Cameron Crowe was the sad day having invented the word for the loneliness and everybody goes through on the road. Yeah. The world is tearing you by you real fast. All these people are looking at you. People see me as my girl singing sweet. In 1974, she took Peter Kobler, Knoboer, and Crown Daddy. People always taking advantage of you. Everybody that is interested in you has got some angle. Got some angle. There were a few girls singers on the rock and roll circuit at the time, and they were relegated to a groupie level when a crowd, a bunch of rock and roll guys established. Linda Ronstadt avoided relating to men, professional level, a fellow musician led to competition insecurity by the romance and chivalry of a boyfriend manager. At that time, she admired singers like Maria Bravo, that would be Muldaur, for not sacrificing the family, but said she felt enormous self-imposed pressure to compete with her boys at every level. She noted in 1969 interview in Fusion magazine that it was difficult being a single shaky singer with an all-male backup band. According to her, it was difficult to get the band back in music because of their ego problem. And being labeled as a side man for me, a female singer, yeah. Do you imagine that being a female surrounded by all male band and trying to compete with male? That's very difficult to do. It would be the same of today you be a male competing with all female band and things like that. It would be exactly the same I would say, you know. Okay, we're gonna go here with another writing by Lena Ronstadt. In general, when you fell in love with an artist and their music, the plan are fairly simple. Get some people to go and see them and make a record that you think properly present the music to the public and some wishes you can get on the radio. Peter Asher on collaboration, Linda Ronstadt. Very interesting this writing. The album features Linda Ronstadt's first country hit, Silver Thread Golden Needle, which was her first recording on hand sound, HSOWN, homegrown, this time hitting the country top 20. Revelation Don't Cry Now, Linda Ronstadt took her biggest hit gig to the day, opening act on Neil Young Time Fade Away tour. Time Fade Away tour. Playing along a larger crowd than ever before, backstage and concert in Texas. Chris Hillman introduced her to Emmylou Harris, telling them, "You two could be good friends," would soon occur, resulting in a frequent collaboration over the following years. Meanwhile, the album became Linda Ronstadt's most successful up to the time, selling 300 million copies by the end of 1974. Actually, it turned out to be more collaborative and more the same page with her musical than any other producer she had worked with previously. Linda Ronstadt's professional relationship with Asher allowed her to take command effectively, delegate responsibility on the recording studio out to Headset, uh, Hesittant, and the first work with her because of her reputation the reputation of being a woman of strong opinion who knew what she wanted to do with her career, had nonetheless agreed to become her first-time producer, and remained the road to the late 1980s as a tribute to the long-term success of his working relationship with Linda Ronstadt and the fact he was the first person to manage and produce with whom there was a solely professional relationship. It must be a lot harder to have an objective conversation about someone's career when it's someone you sleep with, he said. With someone that you sleep with. You imagine that? Yeah, that's hard. And just imagine for a minute that you sleep with the artist that you are producing professionally. Uh, you have two responsibilities. Be her lover and be her producer. Wow, that's a heavy duty. That's a heavy duty thing. I would say, as an executive producer, a tribute to CD called Listen to Me by the Holy, released on September 6, 2011, which is Linda Ronstadt's 1976 version of Buddy Holly, that be the day appear among the newly version of the Holy song various artists. Yeah. Okay, here we go with the vocal style. Another writing by Linda Ronstadt. I grew up singing Mexican music, and that's based on the English Mexican rhythm. Mexican music also has overlay of the West African music based on the Hopa Bango. That would be HUABANGO drum and a kind of like 6/8 time signature, but really it's a very sympathetic. That would be SYNCOPATED 6/8 and how I attack the vocal. Linda Ronstadt recording her musical instrument with a rock and roll, writing and reading by Linda Ronstadt. Okay. Linda Ronstadt captured the sound of the country music and the rhythm of the ranchera music which she linked in the 1968 to Mexican bluegrass and redirected it to her rock and roll or some of her pop music. Many of this rhythm and sound were part of the southwestern route. Likewise, the country sound and style fusion of the country music rock and roll called country rock has started to extend and the influence on the mainstream pop music around the late 1960s and become a emerging movement to Linda Ronstadt help from commercialized. However, in the early 1970s, Linda Ronstadt began criticized by music purists, P-U-R-I-S-T-S, for her brand of music, which across many genres of country western. Star magazine wrote in the 1970s that rock people thought that she was too gentle for people and thought she was too pop. And the pop people didn't quite understood where she was and but country people really loved Linda. She never categorized herself as stuck on her generally crossing band music. Okay, here we go now. We're interpretive singing. Linda Hosan is considered as an interpreter of her time and has earned praise for her courage to put her stamp on many of the songs. Linda Hosan herself indicated that some of her 1970 hits were recorded under considerable pressure to create commercially successful recording and that she preferred many of her songs to were non-hit album tracks as an infrequent songwriting or songwriter. Linda Hosan composed only 3 songs over her long career. Linda Hosan's natural voice ranged from spanned several octaves from contralto, that would be Contralto, and soprano. And occasionally she would showcase the entire range with a single work. Linda Hosan is the first female artist to popular music history to accumulate 4 consecutive platinum albums, 14 certified million selling today. Excuse me for that. I saw the single Rolling Stone pointed out that the whole generation but for her might never have heard to work as artists such as Buddy Holly, Elvis Costello, and Chuck Berry. Uh, yeah, in other words, she's never going to be compared by them, but at the same time, nobody can be compared by her either. That's my view over here too. Others argued that Linda Hosan had the same generational effect with her Great American Songbook music, exposing the whole generation to the music label in the 1920s, 1930s. Music was pushed aside because of the advent of the rock and roll. When interpreting Linda Ronstadt said she stick to what the music demands in terms of lyrics. Explaining to the rock and roll music is a part of the culture. She said that she had sung that the song she sang after her rock and roll hit were part of the soul, of her soul. And Marathi music was my father's side of the soul. Yeah, that is correct. She was quoted as saying in 1998 interview she gave her Tucson home, My mother's side, half my soul. I was a nursing rather Ronstadt, and I had to do them both relationship with the police who I was. Yeah. In 1974, the book called Rock and Roll Woman How to Catherine Olaf, ORLOFF, by the Winner Ronstadt, home music person, runs strongly into the rhythm of the blues and the type of the music she most frequently chooses to listen. Her goal is to be successful too. With this in mind, Linda Ronstadt fused country rock into a special union. Yeah, I agree with that. By the stage of her career, Linda Ronstadt established her niche on the field of the country rock along with the other musicians such as the Flying Burrito, the Brothers, Emily Lou Harris, Graham Parsons, Swamp Water, Swamp Water, yeah, Neil Young, the Eagle. She helped free contributions from a stereotype and show rockers that country was okay. However, she stated that she was being pushed hard into the singing of more rock and roll than country, I believe. Most successful female singers of the 1970s, Arthur Andrew Greenley, in his book Guide to Popular Culture, described Linda Ronstadt the most successful and certainly the most valuable and most gifted woman and rock and roll singer of her era, signaling her wide popularity concert artists outside of the single church. At the recording studio, Dolly Linen, Line, Dolly Line, yeah, Linen magazine described her as the first true woman rock and roll superstar, selling out the stadium with a string of mega successful albums. Casbah gave Linda Ronstadt a decade award as the top-selling female singer of the 1970s. Her album cover, poster magazine cover, her entire rock and roll image was a famous of her music. By the end of the decade, the singer won and the Chicago Sun-Times described by Dean of 1970 school female rock singer, become what book called the most successful rock and roll star in the world. Female female was an important qualifier according to the Time magazine labeled her as a rarity to have survived, and the shock infected deep rock. Yeah. Also, Linda Ronstadt has been a cult favorite for the music scene for several years. 1975 remembered as the music best of the year with 29-year-old Linda Ronstadt bitterly happened. Yeah, that's true. With the release of The Heart Like a Wheel, named after the album song written by Anna McGuire, McGarry, Linda Hosan, which is number one on the Billboard 200 chart, and was also the first number one country album, and the disc was a certified double platinum over the 2 million copies sold in the US, and many instant her own interpretation were more successful than the original recording, and many times new songwriters were discovered by a larger audience as a result of the interpretation of the recording. Linda Ronstadt had a major success interpreting songs from a diverse spectrum of artists. Hard Like a Wheel is the first single released. You No Good, You Are No Good, Rockefeller version of the R&B song written by Glenn Ballard Jr. that Linda Hosan as initially rejected because her undergold guitar track sounded too much like the Beatles to her. Yeah. And claimed to be number one on both the Billboard Cashback pop single charts, and the album's second single released, When We'll Be Loved, When I Be Loved, on tempo country rock version on the top 10 Everybody's Song, hit number one on the Cashback and number two on the Billboard. The song was also Linda Ronstadt's first number one country hit, When I Be Loved. A great title, I like it. The album critical commercial successful due to a fine presentation on the rock with a heart like a wheel, offers many major commercial success that would set her on the path to being one of the best-selling female artists of all time. Linda Ronstadt won her first Grammy Award for the best country vocal performer female. I can help her if I'm still in love with you, which was original in 1940 by Hank Williams. Yeah, Hank Williams. Linda Ronstadt's interpretation peaked at number two on the country chart, and the album was nominated for the Album of the Year at the time. Rolling Stone put Linda Ronstadt cover on March 1975 and was the first six Rolling Stone cover shot by photographers Annie Leibovitz. That would be Leibovitz, like a super. It include her the feature artist with a full photo layout article by Ben for Story, discussing Linda Ronstadt and many struggle years in the working world, as well as her home lifetime, and was like a woman on tour and decisively male environment. In September of 1975, Linda Ronstadt's album Prisoner of Disuse, that would be Disguise, Prisoner of Disuse, was released It quickly climbed to the top five on the Billboard chart and sold over a million copies and became her second in the world gold platinum in the Grand Slam. In the same year, Ronstadt would eventually become the first female artist in popular music history to have three consecutive platinum albums and would ultimately go on to have eight consecutive platinum albums and another shaking between 1983 and 1990, and the date first single release was Love is a Rose. It was climbing pop at the countryside, but he waved a rockabilly version of the Martha when I was receiving considerable airplay at Asylum and put over the road, and the single he waved with a love, but beside he waved at the top five Billboard Hot 100 love as a road hit top five on the Billboard country charts. 1976, Linda Ronstadt reached the top three Billboard album charts and won her second career Grammy Award for Best Female Vocal Performer for her third consecutive platinum album, Hatting Down the Wind, Hatting Down the Wind. That would be Hasten Down the Wind. And the album features sexy, revealing cover, shot and showcase Linda Ronstadt, singer-songwriter who composed two of the first hit songs, Try Me Again, co-authored with Andrew Gold and Lo Siento Mi Vida. Lo Siento Mi Vida is also included the interpretation of Willie Nelson ballad Crazy, which became the top 10 country hit for Ronstadt in early 1977. Lo Siento Mi Vida, it would be I'm sorry for my life, something like that. I would say uh, at the end of 1977, Linda surpassed the success of Hot Like a Wheel with her album Simple Dream, which is spending 9 consecutive weeks at number 2 on the behind Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Oh wow. And I love Fleetwood Mac too, believe me or not, but she is the best. Linda Ronstadt. This place had her number one position for the 5 consecutive weeks of the Billboard 200 charts. It sold over 3.5 million copies in less than a year in the U.S., along the record for the female artist Simple Dream spawned a string of the hit single of numerous charts. Among them were the RIAA Platinum Certified Blue by You, a country rock interpretation of the Roy Option, ORBISON, of the song It's So Easy. I love that one too. Produced a song by Buddy Howard, a cover of the Rolling Stones magazine troubling and dies. Poor, poor bit for me. A song written by Warren Severn as Sammy C as a shipper. EVON. And I become somebody all the time. And the album generated several Grammy Award nominations, including the Record of the Year, the Best Pop Vocal Performer, Female Blue by You, and won the director KOS Asia Grammy Award for the Best Cover of the first three Grammy Awards, and who will win for designing Linda Ronstadt album cover. In the late 1977, Linda Ronstadt became the first female recording to have two songs in the U.S. Billboard 100 Top 10 at the same time. Blue by You was number one, and Three was So Easy was number 5. Simple Dream became the first single most successful album international, reaching at number one in Australia, Canadian pop and countryside album charts. Simple Dream made Linda Ronstadt the most successful international female tourist artist in the same year. She completed a concert tour around in Europe. As a country music magazine wrote in October 1978, Single Dream is solely drafted. Linda Ronstadt wrote as easily. Also in 1977, she was asked by Los Angeles Dodgers to sing the U.S. national anthem at the game of the World Series against the New York Yankees. Yeah, she sang it. Yeah, I remember that. That's right. And she sang it really good too. Okay, here we go with Time, Rock, Shake, Image. Wow. Linda Ronstadt, she said was artificially encouraged to kid her kind of cop ready to attitude to be tough because rock and roll is a kind of tough business. Female rock artists like her and Janis Joplin, whom describe a lovely, shy, literary, and real-life attitude of the red hot mama. She was artificially encouraged to a project went through initial crisis. Okay, you may take it here. By the end of 1970, Linda Ronstadt may become just as famous as her music. In 1976-1977, she appeared on the cover of Rolling Stone, Time, and Time magazine at the same time. The Rolling Stone cover story was accompanied by several photographs. Linda Ronstadt, Keepy Red Sleep, taken by Annie Leibov, Leibovitc. Linda Ronstadt felt deceived, now visualizing the photo for being so revealing. She said her manager Peter asked a cake level Leibovitc out of the house when she visited the show. Then the photograph. Prior to the publication, the photographer as I mentioned before, the name have refused to let them veto any other photo, which include one of Ronstadt Paul across the bed doing her underpants. In 1977 interview, Linda Hossam explained that any level of OEIBO saw the picture as a expose of my personality. She was right, but I wouldn't shoot her to show a picture like that to anybody who didn't know me personally, because only friends could get this side of me imbalanced. I think this photographer went over the board. She went over the board. She shouldn't have done that. Sometimes too much is too much. Sometimes too little too. But if you reveal too much, that would be bad too, you know. Let's continue here. For her, the 1977 appear cover time under the banner Touchy Rock was also upsetting to Linda Hosan, considering the image appeared to a project about the most famous woman in rock. At that time in the industry where the man still told women what to sing or what to wear, Linda Hosan hated it. The image was projected to the wall on the cover, and she noted how photographers keep forcing her to wear dress which was image she did not want to project. In 2004, she was interviewed for CBS This Morning, and she stated that the image was not her because she did not say like that. As she noted, anyone who met Linda for 10 seconds would know that I couldn't possibly have been her. her. She is extremely determined woman in every area. To me, she was everything as a feminine about. A quality which I had stated was considered a negative, and a woman at that time, when a man that were perceived as being masterful on board. Since her solo career had begun, Linda Hosan had fought hard to be recognized as a solo female singer on the world rock awards and portrayal on the time cover and did not appear to help the situation. Yeah, uh, this photography magazine tabloid, sometimes they go over the board. Yeah, and that's because they made a lot of money. That's what it is. That's what it is for them. In 1978, Rolling Stone declared Linda was signed by a far American best known female rock singer. She scored the third number one album on the Billboard album chart, at this point equivalent to set by Carole King. Yeah, 1974. We're living in the USA. She achieved a major hit single with Oh Baby, Oh Baby, was a rendition of her hitting all four major size pop AC, country R&B. Living in the USA was the first album by a recording artist at the music history chip double platinum over 2 million advanced copies, and the album eventually sold 3 million copies in the US. At the end of the year, Billboard magazine crowned Linda Hosan 3 number 1 awards for the year: Pop Female Single Artist of the Year, Pop Female Album Artist of the Year, Female Artist of the Year overall. Living in the USA showed up the singer at the roller skate, on the roller skate, yeah. Yeah, I had the album. I do have the album in my collection somewhere. Of record. I have it in the past. Yeah, I do. With the newly started pen Hedru, and the album Linda Houston continued in the theme of the concert to promotional poster with a photo of her own roller skate in a dramatic pose with a large American flag in the background. But the stage of her career she was using poster to promote her album, and the concert was at that time what we call it live on radio and television. Yes, I remember that too. Linda Hosan was also featured in the 1970 film FM, where the pilot involved a disc jockey attempting to broadcast a Linda Hosan cover live without competing station knowledge. The film also shows Linda Hosan performing the song Pull, Pull, Pull for Me, Love Me Tender, Tumbling Dice. Linda Hosan was persuaded to record Tumbling Dice after Mick Jagger came backstage when she was in concert and said, "You do too many ballads, you should do more rock and roll songs." Following success of living in the USA, Linda Hosan conducted an album promotional tour and concert. She made a guest appearance on stage with Rolling Stone at Tucson Community Center on July 21, 1978, her hometown of Tucson, Arizona, where she and Jagger sang Tumbling Dice. And the singer with Jagger and Ronstadt later said, "I love it. I didn't have a trace or stage fright. I am scared to death all the way too by my own show, but I was too much fun to get scared." He also said it on stage. He knocked you over. I mean, you have to be on your toe or you'll win. I'm falling on your face. Or you win falling on your face, that's what it means. Yeah, I bet it was fun. I bet it was. Higher paid woman on rock and roll, here we go with that. By the end of 1978, Linda Hosan solidified her role as one of the rock and roll pop most successful solo female act, and owing to her consistent platinum album success and her ability to first woman to sell out concerts in the arena and the stadium hosting tens of thousands of fans. Linda Hosan has become the highest paid woman in rock and roll. She had 6 platinum certified albums, 3 which were #1 on the Billboard album charts, a number of selling pop singles. In 1978 alone, she made over $12 million, equivalent to $58,000 to $58 million in 2024. And the same year, her album sales were reported about to be 17 million, going over 60 million, equivalent to $289 million in 2024. Wow. Very, very millionaire girl. I can tell you that much. As a Rolling Stone dubbed her a rock venom, her record sales continued to multiply as a set record dancer. By 1979, Linda Hosan collected 8 gold, 6 platinum records for multiple platinum certification for her album Unprecedented feat at the time. Her 1976 greatest hit album sold consecutively for the next 25 years and was certified by RIAA for 7 times platinum in 2001, over 7 million in USA copies sold. In 1980, Greatest Hit Volume 2 was released and certified as platinum too. Wow. In 1979, Linda Hosan went international tour playing in arenas across Australia, Japan, including Melbourne, Melbourne, Cricket Ground in Melbourne, and Budoka in Tokyo, Japan. She also participated in benefit concerts for friend Laura George, held to a forum in Los Angeles, California. By the end of the decade, Linda Hosan outsold her female competition. She had 5 straight platinum LP, hunting down the winning heart like a wheel among other U.S. Weekly reporters. In 1978, that Linda Hosan joining Michelle, Tiffany, Carly Simon, had become the queen of rock and roll, and the rock is no longer exclusively to male. There is a new reality ruling today, and that is female. Wow. What a change. What a change that is for the male. No more. Now you got competitive female. And that's the way it should be. Yeah. Why not? Everybody equal. Everybody. She will go on to play a massive commercial appear with many major success interpreting the Great American Songbook made famous a generation before by Frank Sinatra and Figueroa. F-I-T-C, I think, G-E-R-A-L-D, Figueroa. And lady Mexican folk song her childhood. Yeah. Okay, here we go with a little bit uh, from rock to operetta. That would be Operetta. Rampa, electricism in the middle name. Linda Hosan. In February 1980, Linda Hosan released My Love. Yeah, Mad Love. Her seventh consecutive platinum-selling album, and it was straightforward rock and roll album with post-punk, a new wave of influence, including tracks by songwriters such as Elvis Costello, the Queen Stone, and the musician Mark Gobo, who played the record himself. As a part of the album promotion, as a live concert was recorded on HBO Special April and a partial soundtrack for the special, omitting most of the My Love track, was released on her first official live album on February of 2019. She also made over the cover of Rolling Stone for a record-setting 6 time. My Love entered the Billboard album charts at the top 5 at the first week of the first week, guys. I recorded at the time, and it climbed to number 3 position. Project continued his take on the top 10 hit with How Do I Make You? Yeah, original recorded by Billy Tamar and Hurt So Bad. Hurt So Bad. Original top 10 hit for Little Anthony and Imperial. And the album won Linda Ronstadt a 1980 Grammy Award nomination for the Best Rock Vocal Performer Female. Also, she lost the Pat Benatar. Also, she lost to Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar, she really good to Crime of Passion. And the album Benatar praised Linda Ronstadt by stating, there are a lot of good female singers around. How could be the best Linda Ronstadt still alive? Yeah, thank you, Pat. I'm glad that Pat Benatar recognized that. In the summer of 1980, Linda Ronstadt began rehearsal for the first several led the Broadway musical Gypsy Pop, P-A-P-P. Castle led a New York Shakespeare Festival production of Gilbert and Civilian, Pirates Princeton, of Princeton, that would be P-E and C-S-N-C-E, A-N-C-E, alongside Kevin Klein. She said singing Gilbert Southern was a natural story for her. She and her grandfather, Fred Rushton, was credited with having created Tucson's first orchestra of the Club Philharmonico. Yeah, Philharmonico. Tucson has once created an arrangement of the Pirates of Pensacola, P-E-N-S-A-N-C-E. The Pirates of that name opened a limited engagement in New York City in Central Park, eventually moving the production to Bower, where he became a hit from January 8, 1981 to November 28, 1982. Newsweek was a first-hand praise praised her. She had not dogged a corridor, that would be COLORIATURA, the man of the world, as a marble on one of the most demanding parts of the GS canon from her entrance thrilling full war ring one. It is clear that appeared to scale whatsoever soprano picked and stand her way. Linda Hosan co-starred with Kevin Kline, Angela Laborie, LANSBURY, a 1983 opera film version. It was the only acting role in the making of the picture of her appearance started in the 1978 drama FM. Being a concert for stage herself, Linda Hosan received a Golden Globe Award nomination for the role of the film she generated, as a nomination for a Tony Award for the best performance by leading actress, musical, and pirate of the Princess for several Tony Awards, including Tony Award for Best Revival. Yeah. As a child, Linda Hosan at the cover opera La Bohème, Boheme, to the silent film Lady and Guest. I was determined to someday play the part of Mimi when she met the opera superstar Beverly Seal. SILS. She was told, "My dear, every soprano in the world want to play Minnie." In the 1984, Linda Hosan was cast in the role of Jeffrey Pop Bulleted. However, the production was critical commercial disaster, closing after a few nights. In 1982, Linda Hosan released the album Get Closer, primary rock album with some of the pop music as well remained on her album between 1975 and 1990, not to be officially certified a platinum, and it peaked at number 31 on the Billboard album charts and will release to continue to her stake of the top 40 hit with Get Closer. I knew you won. I knew you won. In 1965, Billy Joe Roger with the Jimmy Webb song Easy for You to Say. I was surprised at the top 10 adult contemporary hit in the spring of 1983. Sometimes you just can't win or was picked up by country radio and made the number 27 in the list. Linda Hosan also filmed several music videos of the album which had become popular and the fledgling MTV cable channel. The album earned Linda Hosan a Grammy Award nomination for the best of rock and roll vocal performer female for the title track, and another for the best pop on the performer female for the album. And the artwork won the director Kosh Kosh his second Grammy Award, both for Best Album Package. Yeah. I learned the release on her Gecko's album, Linda Hussain on the North American tour remaining on the top of rock and roll concert until the summer and fall. On November 25th, 1982, her Happy Thanksgiving Day concert was held at the Reunion Arena in Dallas and broadcast live via satellite on NBC radio station in the United States. In 1988, Linda Hussain returned to Broadway for a limited run engagement in a musical show adaptation of the album celebrating her mystical heritage. Canciones de mi padre, a romantic evening or mystical. Artistic aspiration. Linda Hussain embarked at the beginning of her career. She was focused on folk rock and roll country, and she got a bit bored and started to branch out and had been doing ever since. By 1983, she estimated the worth was $40 million, mostly from record concerts, merchandising. In early 1980, Linda Hussain criticized for accepting $500,000 to perform in South Africa with Sun City, violating the cultural boycott imposed by against South Africa because of his policy apprehension. At that time, she stated the last place for a boycott. On the other hand, I don't like being told I can go somewhere. But anyway, Paul Summer was criticized for including her in his 1986 album Greenland, reported in South Africa about defending her. And I know her intention was never to support the government there. She made a mistake. She is extremely liberal in her political thinking, uh, anticipated. Yep. Nothing happened yet. Linda Hussain eventually tried or tired of playing arena. She had ceased to feel the arena where people mile around smoking marijuana, cigarettes, and drinking beer were appropriate places for music. She wanted angels in the acting culture, and reference to the lyrics of Paul Simon's song, You Call Me Out, You Call Me Out, which is a very good song too. From Greenland, Linda Hussain sang harmony with Simon on the different Greenland track Under the Africa Sky. The second verse of the lyric play a tribute to Linda Hussain to take the desired Lord from Tucson, Arizona. Linda Hussain has said she wants to sing in places similar to Thebe, ancient Greece, where the attention is focused on the stage and the performer. I agree. Yeah, that's a great feeling. I can tell you that much. When people are paying attention to you, what you're doing, applaud you, that's amazing, amazing feeling. Linda Hosan recording Upward in the 1980 proved to be just a commercially critical success. I heard 1970 recording between 1983 and 1990. Linda Hosan co-six additional platinum albums, two triple and each over 3 million in the U.S. copy sold. One has been certified a double platinum over 2 million copies sold, and one has earned an additional certification of gold over 500,000 in the U.S. copies sold double disc album. Okay, jazz, pop, technology, Tiilogy, okay. In 1981, Ronstadt produced an record album, pop standard, later marketed as a bootleg, Bootleg, from the title Keeping Album a Mischief, and assistant producer Jerry Wegler, Wesler. However, displeasure with the results led her with regret to scrap the project during the Kill Me, she said the Time magazine interview, but appeared to the album music has seduced Linda Rosan, and she told the Downbeat April of 1985, crediting Weller, Wesler, for encouraging her. Nonetheless, Rosan has convinced her resultant record company, Electra, to approve the type of album under her contract. I gotta move over here a little bit. My leg is killing me in this position that I am. By 1983, Linda Hosan has enlisted at the help of 62-year-old conductor Nelson Ryder, and the two embark on the third, there will be Northords, and the original approach to re- rehabilitating the great American songbook, recording integrity. A traditional pop album was new in 1983. U.S. 3.7 million 2010 live. 1984. U.S. 1.7 million of 2010. After Sentimental Vision in 1983, 1.3 million as of 2010. The three albums have a combined sale of total of 7 million copies in the US alone. The album designed for one new design of a KOSH was unlike any of her previous disc cover. It showed Linda Houston vintage dresses, lying shaman stand sheet with a headset, Walkman headset. I used to have that. At that time, Linda Houston received some of the citing for both of the album and her venture into what was considered elevated music by the critics, but remained determined to record it with rather over the new become a hit, and the album released on September 1983 and spent 81 weeks on the Billboard on the charts and held as a number 3 on the position for a month and a half, and held out to the top spot only by Michael Jackson, critic Lionel Richie can slow down on the RIAA certified triple platinum. Over 3 million copies sold in the US alone. The album won Linda Houston another Grammy nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance and Critical Wave, with Time magazine calling it one of the greatest, most orthodox, unexpected albums of the year. Yeah, let me screw this down a little bit. Linda Houston faced considerable pressure not to record a new overcoat with rather, according to jazz historian Peter Livingston, author of the book September Rain, biography on national writer George Smith, president of the Electro Record, was terrified the radio album would turn off Ronstadt rock audience. Linda Ronstadt did not completely turn her back on her rock and roll past. However, the video for the title featured Danny Kushma, Korthma, also viewed as a bumper during the rainstorm. What new brought rather to a young audience, according to Livingston, the youngest audience hated what Rather had done with Frank Sinatra, which in 1983 was considered vintage pop, vintage pop. Working with Linda Houston, or rather, brought his career back into focus in the last 3 years of his life. Stephen Holden of the New York Times wrote what news is the first album by a rock singer to pay a tribute to a golden age the pop, but it's the best and most serious attempt to rehabilitate an idea of the pop Beatlemania and the mass marketing of the LP for the teenagers funded in the 1960s. In the decade prior to Beatlemania, most of the great bands, singers, and corners of the 40s and 50s qualify a half a century of American pop standard endorsement albums, and many of them now long outprint over the new first album by rock and roll singer to have a major commercial success and rehabilitating the great American songbook. Very interesting. Let's continue here. In 2004, Linda Hostan released Humming to Myself. Humming to Myself. Her album, Verb Record, was the first foray traditional jazz in her session with Jerry Wegler, WESLER, and her record with the Nelson Rider Orchestra. By this time, the intimate jazz combo, and the album was quite a fair for Linda Ronstadt, giving a few interviews with making only one television performer promotion and reached at number 2 on the Billboard Top Jazz Album chart, but picked number 166 in the main Billboard album chart. Not having the mass distribution, Warner Music Group gave her Humming to Myself and sold over 75,000 copies in the U.S. in 2010, yes. He also achieved the critical acclaim of the jazz consensus. Yeah, jazz. Many people don't like jazz, but I do. I like jazz. I like all kinds. A jazz sometimes it will ask you, take your places, you know. All music should be love. I would say I love all music. Okay, even Spanish one. But yeah, field recording when I was young, it was beautiful and different sound. I never heard before we recorded a vocal as an individual part because we didn't have the luxury to spending a lot of time together on a tour bus, knowing each other, vocal move, taking years. And she wrote that Linda Ronstadt. In 1978, Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, Emily Harry, and friend admire one another's work. Ronstadt include a cover of Parton, I Will Always Love You, a personal discourse, and attempted to collaborate with the trio album. Unfortunately, attempt did not span out, and Linda Ronstadt later remarked that not too many people were in control at that time. Everyone was too involved with their own career to the effort to complete what to complete the album was abandoned and a number of the recordings were included on the singer's respective solo recording over that few years. The concept album was put in the back burner for almost 10 years at that time. In March 1987 was considerable. It hit the holding #1 position on the Billboard Country Album chart for 5 weeks running and hitting the top 10 on the pop side also, selling over 3 million copies and winning them a Grammy Award for Best Country Performer Country Duo, nominated for Overall Album of the Year. In the company of Michael Jackson, U2, Prince, who wouldn't use him, and up for the nomination of To Know Him is to Love Him, which he hit #1 at that time, guys. In 1994, the three performers recorded a follow-up tour as well at the case of the border in 1978, conflicting the schedule and competing priority delay on the album release. And definitely, Linda Hosan has already paid for the studio time on her record company and finished the album and removed Phantom individual Phantom request Harry vocal and produced the recording, which is subsequently released on her 1995 return to country, and the album Feel Like Home. However, in 1999, Linda Hosan, Phantom, and Harry agreed to release the Thrill 2 album, which was originally recorded in 1994 and included a stereo cover of the New York after the gold rush, which had become popular music video, and therefore certified gold over 500,000 copies sold, and won the Grammy Award for the Best Country Collaboration Vocal for the track. Linda Hosan co-produced the album with George Masburg, and the three women also received a nomination for the Grammy Award for the Best Country Album. Let's go here with Canciones de mi Padre, which means the song of my father. Song of my father, yes. Let's read this over here. Give me a second. At the end of 1987, Linda Hosan released Canciones de mi Padre, an album traditional Mexican folk song, and was described in the world-class song, keeping the Linda Hosan history theme of her cover for a dramatic, bold, colorful show. Linda Hosan on full Mexican Galilla, IEGALIA, a musical arranged by mariachi musician Ruben Fuentes. These canciones were big part of Linda Hosan's family traditional musical roots. In January of 1946, the University of Arizona published the booklet by Luisa Espinal, entitled Canciones de mi Padre. Luisa Espinal Linda Hosan, and was an international singer of 1920, 1930, Espinal. Father was Fred Hosan, Linda Hosan, grandfather, and the song she had learned transcribed as a publicity was some of the ones he had brought with him from Sonora, Mexico. Hosan, which reached the unexpectedly from the favor she had learned from her father Gilbert, and she called her the album of the same name as her own booklet, and a tribute to her father and his family. Through not fully bilingual, he had a very good command on the Spanish language, allowing her to sing Latin songs with a little dissemble. U.S. assassin Linda Hosan often identified herself as a Mexican American. Her formative years were spent with her father's side of her family. In fact, in 1976, Ronstadt collaborated with her father to write and compose traditional Mexican folk ballad, Lo siento mi vida, a song that she concluded hashed down the wind. Ronstadt also credited Mexican singer Lola Beltran, and her influence on her own singing style, and she recalled how frequent guests to the Ronstadt home, Eduardo Lalo Guerrero, the father of the Chicano music, would often serenade her as a child. Okay. Canciones de mi padre won a Grammy Award for the Best Mexican American Performer in 2001 and was certified double platinum by the RIAA shipment for the shipment over 2 million copies, and the United States making the best-selling non-English language album in the U.S. history. The album Historical Stage show served as a benchmark of the Latin cultural renaissance in North America. Here is another writing by Linda Hosan. I obtained enough clout after years of making commercial records. I was entitled to experiment to the success of the Nelson Rado album entitled me to try the Mexican stuff. The Mexican stuff, yeah. Linda Hosan produced and performed lyrical stage show also titled Canciones de mi padre en concert hall across the U.S. Latin American, both Hispanic and non-Hispanic audience. The performers were later released on DVD. Linda Hosan elected to return to Broadway stage 4 years after the performance in La Boheme for the limited run engagement PBS. Great performer aired on stage and show during the annual drive through the show was a hit, with the audience earning Ronstadt Primetime Emmy Award for individual performer in the variety of musical program. I would say. Ronstadt recorded two additional album Latin music. In early 1990, the promotion like most of the whole album in 1990 was a quiet affair with Linda Houghton making only a limited of appearance on her album in 1990 and were quiet and they promote them and they were not nearly successful as a considered everybody by critical acclaim or some cycle. In 1991 she followed the year and she stepped outside of the Marathi genre, decided to record a well-known Afro-Cuban song on the album titled Fantasy, Fantasy, like her two previous Latin recordings. For one, Linda Houghton a Grammy Award for the best traditional tropical Latin album at that time. In 1991, Linda Houghton acted at the Red Road for Archangel Miguel and La Pastorela of a Shepherd terror musical film San Juan Bautista was written by directed by Luis Valdez, production for a part of a PBS Great Performance series. About that. In December of 2020, it's announced that concerned everybody have been introduced to the Grammy Hall of Fame. Yes, returning to the contemporary scene musician, I would say. You will go with that. Give me a second. By the late 1980s, while enjoying successful of her big band jazz collaboration with others, and a surprise hit Marathi recording Linda Houghton, elected to return to the mainstream pop music once again. In 1987, she made a return to the top Billboard 100 single charts with Somewhere Out There, which is I love it to you guys, which is picked at number 2 in March of the year 1987, featuring the animated film An American Tale, sentimental duo with James Ingram, who was nominated for several Grammy Awards, ultimately winning the Grammy Award for the Song of the Year. The song was also received as a nomination for the Grammy Award for the Best Original Song and achieved a highly sell on a million selling gold single in the US and the last 45 ever to do so. It was accompanied by popular music video on the hero of the success Steven Spielberg asked Linda Houghton to record the theme song for the animated sequel titled American Terror. Private Goes West, which was titled Dream to Dream. How to give me for that. How to Dream failed to achieve a success of Somewhere Out There, and the song did not give Houghton an adult contemporary hit in 1991. 1989, Linda Houghton released a mainstream pop album, several pop singles, Quiet Like a Rainstorm, How I Like the Wind. How I Like the Wind become that single most successful album and production arrangement and several critical acclaim. It became Linda Ronstadt's 10th top album of the Billboard charts, reaching at number 7, being certified triple platinum over the 3 million copies sold in the US, and the album received Grammy Award nomination. Linda Ronstadt include New Orleans soul singer Aaron Neville and the VILE on several album songs. About that, Linda Ronstadt incorporated the sound of the Oakland interfaith gospel choir, Tower of the Power, Horn, Skywalker, Symphony, and numerous musicians. It included a duo with Aaron Neville, Don't Know Much, a Billboard Hot 100 number 2 hit in Christmas of 1989. All My Life Billboard Hot number 111 hit, both of which were long-running number 1 adult contemporary hit. The duo earned several Grammy Award nominations, and the duo won both 1989-1990 Best Pop Vocal Performer by a Duo Group with a Vocal Award. Linda Ronstadt's last known live Grammy Award appearance was in 1990, when she and Neville performed Don't Know Much together on the telecast. Whenever I sing with a different artist, I can get things out of my voice that I cannot do myself. Linda Ronstadt reflected it in the 2007 I Can Do Things with Aaron. I can do alone. Yeah, in other words, she cannot do alone. In December of 1990, she participated in the concert at the Tokyo Dome to commemorate John Lennon's 50th birthday to raise awareness of the environment issues. Other participants include Miles Davis, Lenny Kravitz, Krivitz, Howard Oates, Natalie Cole, Yoko Ono, Sean Lennon, the son of John Lennon, Sean Lennon, and the album was written under the title Happy Birthday, John. Yeah, happy birthday, John Lennon. He was one of my favorites too. I won't forget him either. Return to the music. Linda Ronstadt, highly acclaimed winner light, and the album at the end of 1993 include the new age arrangement such as lead single Heartbeat, accelerating as the world self-impaired, and the title track featured glass harmonica. It was the first commercial failure since 1972, and it peaked at number 92 on the Billboard, where in 1995, Feel Like Home was Linda Ronstadt's most Herlander returned to country rock, include her version of Tom Perry classic The Waiting, the single Rockin' and the Fatal Refuse flip side. Walk On and Return was down the country single choice for the first time since 1983, and the album track entitled The Blue Train charted 10 weeks on the Billboard Alert Contemporary Top 30, and the album fared significantly better than Procedure One, reaching at number 75. Both albums were later deleted from the Electra Asylum catalog. Linda herself was nominated for 3 Lone Retro Awards in 1993. Female Original Mystical Artist, Olivia, give me a second. Original Mystical Artist of the Year, Tropical Salsa Artist of the Year, Version of the Song, Perfidia was also listed as Tropical Salsa Song of the Year. In 1996, Linda Ronstadt produced and dedicated The One I Love, an album classic rock and roll song, reinvented it as Lullaby. Lullaby means Lullabis, and the album reached number 78 in the Billboard and won the Grammy Award for the best musical album for children at that time. 1998, the Ronstadt released a We Ran, her first album in over 2 years, and the album hangs back to Linda Ronstadt, country rock, folk rock heyday. She returned to her rock and roll roots with a vivid interpretation of the song by Bruce Springsteen, DRC, Thomas Bob Dylan, John Hyatt, HIATT, and the recording was produced by GLYN John. A commercial failure, the album stood at 57 for age 97 copy, 57,800 copies sold at the time, and that's what this means. The deletion in 2008, it is the fourth selling studio album in Ronstadt Electra Asylum catalog. Rewind did not chart any single but was well received by critics. Despite the lack of success of Rewind, Linda Ronstadt kept moving toward the adult rock exploration. In the summer of 1999, she released the album Western Wall, the exclusion session for the folk rock oriented project with Emily Harris, He earned the nomination for the award for the Best Contemporary Folk Album and made the top 10 Billboard Country Album charts. Still the trend in December of 2016 and sold 255 copies. Hold on a second, guys. Let me say again. It sold 223,000 255 copy. Production sound can. Okay. Before I go on, guys, this has been the longest autobiography that I've done. I had to stop and eat something. So I did that, just restarted again. This is a very long autobiography, guys. I hope you appreciate this. Also, in 1999, Ronstadt went back to the concert route where she performed with Diego Jackson Brown, Staples Center in Staples Center 1999. That year celebration kicking off in December and the end of the Millennium festivity at the Staples Center. Senior Vice President General Manager Bobby Goldwater said it was our goal to present a spectacular event send-off of the 20th century at the Eagle Jackson Brown, Linda Ronstadt, and three of the most popular acts in the century. Their performance will constitute the singular historic night of the entertainment for the New Year's Eve in Los Angeles, California. In the 2000, Linda Ronstadt completed her long contractual relationship with the Electra Record Asylum label. The fulfillment of the contract commenced with the release of A Merry Little Christmas, her first holiday collection, which includes a rare choral work, CHORAL work, summer Johnny Mitchell song, River, and a rare recorded duo with the late Rosemary Clooney on the Clooney signature song, White Christmas. Since leaving Warner Music, Linda Ronstadt has gone to release the album Hitch on the Velvet and Vanguard record in 2006, recording True Sister, C as in Zebra, or C as in Zebra, or Sister. Linda Ronstadt teamed with a new friend and musical scholar, Anne Savory, to record Adi Falls Hall. That would be ADIEU Falls Hall, was an album root music incorporating pop, cajon, and early 20th century music release of the Vanguard record label. IDU Falls Hall was a commercial failure. It failed completely, peaking at number 146 on the US, despite her touring for the final time that year. It was the last time Linda Ronstadt would record the album, having begun to lose her singing ability as a result of a degenerative condition, DE, NERATIV condition, later determined to be a progressive supranuclear partially, and that was spelled SUPRANUCLEAR, supranuclear, and by initially diagnosed at Washington, D.C. in December of 2012 at the Youth Hall, recording in Louisiana, Fisher cast local musicians Chad Justice, Justus, Eric Frey, Kevin Wimmer, a winner, Kevin Wimmer, and the Red Stick Rumbler, Sam Boston, or the Mambu Playboys. That would be MAMU Playboy, Dick Power, Joel Savory, and array of Nashville musician fiddler Stuart Duncan, and mandolin Sam Bush, and guitar Brian Sutton, of recording 2 Grammy Award nominations for the Best Traditional Folk Album, Best Engineered Album of Non-Classical. 2007, Linda Ronstadt continued to completion of the album We All Love Ella, ELLA, celebrating the first Lady Song, a tribute to jazz music all the time of most Hollywood artists, HERALDED, on the track Miss Otis Regrets. Miss Otis Regrets was the name of the album. And I go to 2007, Linda Ronstadt headlined the Newport Folk Festival. Newport Folk Festival, making her debut album at this event, which she incorporated jazz, rock, folk music into repertory, and was her final concert at that time. In 2010, Linda Ronstadt contributed to arrangement of the lead vocal to A la orilla de un palmar. A la orilla de un palmar on the Shift 10 studio in San Patricio with R.Y. Corder. This remains her most recent commercially available recording a lead vocally at this time. Retirement, here we go with that. In 2011, Linda Ronstadt, interviewed by Arizona Daily Star, announced her retirement in August 2013. She revealed to Alana Nash, writing for the APPLP, that she had Washington, D.C., and they could no longer sing to a note. Her diagnosis was subsequently revealed as progressive supranuclear palsy. Feel Like Home, a song for the Sonoran borderline of a publicity in 2022. Okay? We continue here. Selected career achievement. On April 10, 2014, Linda Ronstadt was introduced to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In July 2019, Linda Ronstadt was selected to the Kennedy Center honoree on May 7, 2022 during the International Marathi Conference at Tucson Musical Hall and Tucson Convention Center was officially renamed the Linda Ronstadt Music Hall. As in 2019, Ronstadt had won 3 number 1 pop albums, 10 albums, 38 charting pop albums on the Billboard Pop Album chart. She had 15 albums on the Billboard Top Country Album chart, including 4 that hit number 1. Linda Ronstadt's single was on the number 1 hit and 3 number 2 hit on the Billboard 100, with the top 10 pop single and 21 reaching the top 40. She also scored 2 number 1 hits in the Billboard Hot Country Song chart and 2 number 1 hits in the Billboard Other Contemporary. Rolling Stone wrote a whole generation by her My Neighborhood, the work of the Holy Body, Chuck Berry, and Elvis Costello. Yeah. She had recorded and released over 30 studio albums and had made a guest appearance on a estimated 120 albums by either artist and guest appearance including classical minimalist Philip Glass, songs from the Liquid Days, and a hit classical record with another major pop star singing or writing lyrics. Linda Ronstadt to track on the album saw the singing and the lyrics written by Susan Vega and Laurel Anderson. She also appeared on the Glass follow-up, recording 100 or 1,000 Airplane on the Roof. Again, 1,000 Airplane on the Roof. She appeared on Paul Simon Graceland, where she sang a duo with the Simon Under the African Sky. And that song that she voiced dedicated to Ronstadt and her voice harmony. Her birth in Tucson, Arizona, she voiced herself at the Simpsons episode Mr. Plow, P-L-O-W, and the sound duo with Funny How Time Slip Away, with a Homer Simpson on the Yellow album at that time, guys. Very interesting. Ronstadt also appeared on the album The Vast Range of the artists including Emmylou Harris and Chief Taines, Dolly Parton, Neil Young, J.D. Sutter, Graham Parsons, Bitter Miller, 90 Gritty, and Dirt Band, Oscar, Undergo, Wendy, Waldman, and so many others. As a singer-songwriter, Linda Ronstadt has written songs covered by several artists such as Try Me Again, covered by Tisha Yearwood, and The Winter Light, which was co-written by composer with C. Big New, S. C. S. Super, Bingniaw. Once again, C. S. Super, B. S. Boy, Igniaw. Pacino, and covered by Sarah Winman. Her three biggest selling studio albums today are her 1977 release Simple Dream, 1983 One New, and 1989 Quiet Like a Rainstorm. How I Like to Win. Each that have been certified as a recording industry association of America for over 3 million copies sold. A higher selling album to the day in 1976, Greatest Hit, certified for over 7 million units sold at 2001. Linda Ronstadt became the music's first major touring female artist to sell side-able vinyl. Side-able vinyl. She was also a top-grossing solo female concert artist for the 1970s. She remained a highly successful touring artist into the 1990s, which that time was also decided to scale back to the smaller venue in the 1970s. Classified magazine competitor of Billboard during the time named Linda Ronstadt the number one female artist of the decade. Rolling Stone 500 greatest album all time included Hot Like a Wheel, 1974 number 164, The Very Best of Linda Ronstadt, 2002, and the number 324, and the 2012, The Vision Only, The Completion but Race to the place occupied by Hot Like a Wheel. Linda Ronstadt album sales have not been certified since 2001. At that time, Linda Ronstadt's U.S. album sale was certified by Recording Industry Association of America. Over 30 million albums sold. However, Peter Asher, a former producer, manager, played the total U.S. album sale over 45 million copies. Likewise, worldwide, album sales exceeded 100 million albums sold according to the former president Warner Brother Record George Smith. Now you remember the Hit Parade Hall of Fame, her RIAA certification audit paid for by record companies, audit for promotionality of 2001 totaled 19 gold, 14 platinum, 7 multi-platinum albums. She was the first female in music history to score 3 consecutive platinum albums, ultimately ranked after a total 8 consecutive platinum albums. Her album, Living in the USA, was the first album by recording artists of the U.S. music history to be shipped double platinum over 1 million advance copies. Her first Latin release, The Spanish or Spanish, 1987, Canciones de mi padre stand as the best-selling English language album in American history as of 2013 and has sold over 2.5 million copies. I don't know if here in the United States or worldwide, but I guess it's worldwide too. Linda Hosan served as a producer for albums and various musicals, including her cousin David Lindley, Aaron Neville, singer-songwriter Jimmy Webb. She produced crystal glass music throughout the ages. The album classical music using light instruments with Dennis James, where she sang over several arrangements. In 1999, Linda Hosan produced a Grammy Award winning trio. She received a total of 27 Grammy Award nominations of a various fields that include rock, country, pop, tropical Latin, and was won 11 Grammy Awards in the category of pop, country, tropical Latin, music, album for children, Mexican American. In 2016, Linda Hosan was again honored by National Academy of the Recording Artists Science with a Lifetime Grammy Award. Wow, this is very interesting. She was the first female solo artist tap tap 5 singles simultaneously. At the same time, on the Billboard magazine Hot 100 Blue by You and So Easy by December of that year. At the same time, Blue by You, It Is So Easy had climbed into the Billboard top 5 and remained there for a month and last for a week. In 1999, Linda Ronstadt ranked at number 21 in the VH1 100 Greatest Women Rock and Roll of Time. 3 years later, she ranked at number 40 on CMT 40 Greatest Women in the Country Music. In 2013, Rolling Stone ranked Linda Ronstadt at number 47 and their list 200 greatest single all the time. All the time. I would say, okay, let's go here with personal life. Early 1970, Linda Ronstadt briefly dated musician DJ Sutter, Souther, who co-produced Don't Cry Now album. Beginning in the mid-1970s, Linda Ronstadt's private life became increasingly fully and was fueled by a relationship with then Governor of California, Jerry Brown, a Democratic presidential candidate. They shared a Newsweek magazine cover in April of 1979, as well as a cover of the U.S. Weekly and People magazine, a People magazine that I don't see anymore. In 1983, Linda Ronstadt dated a comedian Jim Carrey. Oh wow, Jim Carrey. For 8 months from the end of 1983-1998. yeah, 1988. Linda Hosan was engaged to a Star Wars director, George Lucas. I love George Lucas. He was very creative in movies. That I can tell you that much. In December 1990, she adopted infant daughter Mary Clementine. Clementine. Clementine Rostand. In 1994, she adopted a baby boy, Carlos Rostand. Rostand had never been married and speaking of finding a acceptable mate, uh, the acceptable mate. Give me a second here, guys. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay, although she'd never been married, speaking of finding acceptable mate in 1974, to Peter Kobler, Knoble, uh, Squirrel Daddy, and the real kind, by each inspiring musically. And then when you meet somebody else, they just are so inspired musically that he just takes your breath away. But he's such a moron, such a manic, that you can't get along with him. So manic or magnetic. And after that, the problem of finding someone, someone else can stand you. They can stand you, yeah. Well, I'll tell you something about this. Musicians or artists should not marry anybody. You are married to your career. You are married to your music. You are married to all that. Don't do it. Don't get married. And don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That's my advice. In the late 1980s, after living in Los Angeles, California for 30 years, Linda herself moved to San Francisco because she said she never felt at home in Southern California. Los Angeles became too enclosing environment, she said. I could breathe in the air, and I didn't want to drive on the freeway to get to a studio. I also didn't want to embarrass the value that had been so completely embarrassed by the city are so glamorous. You glamour, are you rich? Are you important? Do you have clout? It's just not me, I never was me. In 1997, Linda Hosan sold her home in San Francisco and moved back to her hometown, Tucson, Arizona, to raise her two children. In more recent years, Linda Hosan moved back to San Francisco while continuing to maintain her home in Tucson, Arizona. Okay, so you have two houses in different states, that's okay. In August of 2013, Linda Hosan revealed she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, leaving her unable to sing due to a loss of muscular control was common to Parkinson patients. She was diagnosed 8 months prior to the announcement. I had initially attributed to the symptoms she had been experienced to the after effect or after effect of the surgery and tire and take back, yeah. Late in 2019, she was reported her doctor had revised their diagnosis to progressive supranuclear palsy, the gesture, disease common mistaken for Parkinson due to the similarity of the system, of the symptom, yeah. Uh, Wilson, Linda Wilson described herself as spiritual antes, ATHEIST. Well, you don't believe in God? That's very bad. I can't believe she's an actress. ATHEIST. I can't believe that. You know, political activist. Here we go with that. Linda Ronstadt, politics received criticism of praise during the after her July 17, 2004 performance at the Aladdin Theater for Performing Arts in Las Vegas, Nevada, to the end of the show, as she had done across the country. Linda Ronstadt spoke to the audience praising Fahrenheit 9/11, Michael Moore, documentary film about Iraq War. She dedicated the song to Desperado to Moore. Account to say the crowd initial reaction was mixed, with her half of the crowd hardly applauding her praise for Moore, and the other half booing. Okay? Following the concert, news account reported Linda Ronstadt was evicted from the hotel premises. Linda Ronstadt commented as well the reaction of some audience members at the hotel become a topic of discussion nationwide. Aladdin Casino President Bill Timmons, Timms, and Michael Moore each made a public statement about that controversy. Well, the incident prompted the international headline and debate on the internet right to express a political opinion from the state and made this editorial section of the New York Times following the incident. Many fans of Linda Ronstadt, including the Eagle, immediately canceled their engagement at the Aladdin. Linda Ronstadt also received telegrams of support from her rock and roll fans around the world, like the Rolling Stones, the Eagle, Elton John, and made a full response to Linda Ronstadt. Continue praise Michael Moore I have filmed throughout the 2004-2006 summer concert across America. Okay, it's my belief that artists should not get involved in any political arena, any political view. If you have a political view, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself because that bad news either way, on one side or the other. That's what I would do if I was an artist. Uh, I would keep it to myself. Yeah, a 2006 concert in Canada, Linda Ronstadt, the Calgary Sun, said she was embarrassed by George Bush, who was from the United States, an idiot. He was an idiot. Wow, that heavy, guys. Her emotionally incompetent, incompetent both domestic and international scene. Now that the fact were lie about the reason for entering into a war in Iraq, and thousands of people have died. It's just immoral and racism. Her remarks drew international headlines in August 14, 2007. In the interview, she commented that all her well-publicized, outspoken views, a particular Adelaide incident, by noting, if I had to do over, I would be much more gracious to everyone. You can be outspoken as you want if you are very, very respectful to show some grace. I got my views on that, but I'm not going to comment today. The only thing that I can comment today is that I am conservative and I believe in God and humanity too. In 2007, Linda Rosan resided in San Francisco while also maintaining a home in Tucson, Arizona. That same year, due criticism of praise from the Tucsonian for commenting that the local city council failing to develop a strip mall mentally agree on going that problem a vendor in the city unrecognizable, fully developed. In August 2009, as well publicized interview Plano Out Inc., Linda Hosang, gay mission champion gay rights, same-sex marriage stated that homophobia and anti-family value preview at the end of the story. Well, this made me laugh a little bit. On January 16, 2010, Linda Ronstadt conversed with thousands of their activists in the National Day of Action. Linda Ronstadt stated that her dog in the fight as a native Arizona coming from a law enforcement family, was women of illegal alien Arizona enforcement for the illegal immigrant law, especially at Maricopa, County Sheriff, Yo Apacio, and the airport area. On April 29, 2010, Linda Hosan began campaigning, including joining a lawsuit against Arizona's new illegal immigration law, SB 1070, calling a devastating blow to the law enforcement. The police don't protect us in democracy, beautiful, something she said she learned from the brother Peter who was the chief of the police in Tucson, Arizona. Linda Hosan also being outspoken on the environmental and community issues. She is a major supporter of the Maya Sustainable Agriculture pioneer West Jackson, saying in 2000, the work he's doing right now is the most important work there is in the United States, dedicating the rock anthem Desperado to him in 2007 concert in Kansas City, Kansas City. We will go with national art advocacy. In the United States, we spend millions of dollars on sport because it promotes teamwork, discipline, and the experience of learning to make great progress in a small increment. On learning to play music together does this and more. Linda Ronstadt wrote this. Okay, in 2004, Linda Ronstadt wrote to forward forward to the book NPR Curious Listener Guide to American Folk Music. In 2005, she wrote introduction to the book Classic Fingington, Ferrington, guitar, about guitar maker Lawton Danny Ferguson, and the custom guitar that he created for Linda Hosan and musicians such as Elvis Costello, R.Y. Corder, Kurt Cobain, Kurt Cobain, and Ronstadt have been honored for her contribution to American art. On September 23, 2007, she was introduced to the Arizona Entertainment Hall of Fame along with Stevie Nicks, Bogona, and filmmaker Steven Spielberg. On August 17, 2008, Ronstadt received a tribute to various artists including B.B. Winner, Viola Jazz, where she was honored with a Trailblazer Award presented to her by Placido Domingo at the 2000 Alma Award, a ceremony later televised in the U.S. ABC. In 2008, Linda Hosan was appointed director of San Jose Mariachi Mexican Heritage Festival. On March 31, 2009, testimony that the Los Angeles Times, a team remarkable with Linda Hosan, spoke to the United States Congress House of Appropriation Committee or subcommittee on the interview environment related agency attempting to convince lawmakers to budget $200 million in the 2010 fiscal year for the National Endowment Authority. Very interesting. In May 2009, Linda Hosan received honorary doctorate at the music degree from Berklee College of Music for the achievement of the influence music and her contribution to American international culture. A Best magazine stated that Linda Hosan has left her mark on more than the record business. Her devotion to the craft singing influenced many audio professionals and intensity and knowledge about the mechanism of singing or the cultural context for every genre she passes. Here are the graphic, and this is the last part of this autobiography. Thank God because this has been a long one. To the album, Linda, her son, Storm, Bunny, and Friend, Volume Number 3, 1968, with the Storm Punished. Has Sworn, S-O-W-N, Homegrown, 1969. Kill Push, P-U-R-S-E, 1970. Linda Hosan, 1972. Don't Cry Now, 1973. Heart Like a Wheel, 1974. Personal Disguise, D-I-S-G-U-I-S-E, 1975. Hunting Down the Wind, 1976. Simple Dream, 1977. Let me see. Living in the USA, 1978. My Love, 1980. Get Closer, 1982. What New, 1983. Lost Life, 1984. From Sentimental Vision, 1986. Thrill, 1987. With Emmylou Harry, Dolly Parton. Canciones de mi padre, 1987. Quiet Like a Rainstorm, Hard Like a Wind. Más Canciones, 1991. Friendside, 1992. Winterlight, 1993. Feel Like Home, 1995. Dedicated to the One I Love, 1996. We Won, 1998. 302, 1999. Emmylou Harris, Dolly Parton, Western Wall. The Tucson Station, 1999. With Emmylou Harris. A Merry Little Christmas, 2000. Home to Myself, 2000. I Did You For Her, which is A-D-I-E-U Force Her, 2006, with Anne Savory. Okay, so this is all I got for this lady. Let me get over here. Linda Ronstadt. Let me read the background information and I will be done with this autobiography for you guys. Linda Ronstadt, background information, birth name Linda Maria Ronstadt, born July 15, 1946, 78 years old, Tucson, Arizona, genre rock, pop, folk, progressive, country, Latin, singer, occupation singer, musician, record producer, actress, instrument, vocal guitar, album, single, performers, year active, 1965, 2011, Capitol Asylum, Electra River, Reno, those are the record label, and her website, you guessed it, lindarostan.com. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening to me for this long autobiography. It cost me like 3 hours to do, little by little, because I had to take a break. It was too much for me, so I had to take a break to do it. I'm recording again and again, different statements for you. I hope you like it. Please subscribe, like, and uh, share. And share too, okay? Like always, remember to pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for your neighbor, that there is no more wars and no more pandemic in the world, that we need to live in peace and harmony. Okay, I I don't agree with Linda Hosan, that she don't believe in anything. Yes, and there is somebody out there. There is somebody that loves us with all his heart. And his name is Jesus Christ. For sure, for sure. Oh yeah. Okay guys, God bless you. Bye bye. See you in 2 or 3 days.